Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome to another slapdash. What the fuck am I doing? This is. Can you hear that dog already? Happy Halloween, everybody! And with that dog barking, remind you just just how needed Michael Myers was with his animal disposal services every now and again. That's a joke for all you uh, pet lovers. I'm kidding, but that fucking dog is obnoxious, as you'll probably hear throughout the rest of this video. I just wanted to catch up a couple of things. The channel has a reason for a little bit of a catch up, and my life, fucking health and personal shit, has just been uh, upside down the last 10 days, and I figured I'd just take this time to explain some of that, answer whatever questions some of you have. There was a question by Dino over on Patreon that I will get to. But again, if you have something that you're asking or inquiring about regarding the channel or me or whatever over the last couple of weeks, by all means, fire it there in the chat. I'm just trying to, for some reason, I can't do two things at once with the computer. Dennis says, "Good thing Felix isn't there." Felix doesn't bark like this. Felix, Dennis, the only difference between Felix and this dog does this nonstop when the downstairs neighbors are gone. Felix, he's just an alarm for knowing when somebody's coming or going. This is just going to be the ongoing soundtrack until they fucking get back. So yeah, real quick. So the channel news. The some of you may not notice the channel is not Will I Like It Reviews anymore. It's now WILIscredia, which some of you don't know what the fuck that means, which is odd. Like I don't know if for as much as my ego about making it that name and how thoughtful and witty I think I was being, or thought I was being. Nobody's asked me what the fuck it is, what it means. So maybe it's just fucking stupid. But WILIscredia is something that Will I Like It Reviews is Willie. WILIscredia is something that I was, if you watch any stuff going years back, that I had my opinion in, or something that was a bit produced. It had the moniker a WILIscredia production. That was basically to tell people that Will I Like It Reviews is about other people's opinions. It's not so much about whether or not I like it. It's trying to figure out who would like that. WILIscredia, which is the channel name Will I Like It, WILI, is a squished word. It's supposed to be Willie Discreet Media. Discreet meaning it's my opinion, and media meaning to mead. But that was the explanation behind, or the definition behind the sub series there. Anything that was a WILIscredia production wasn't going to be a neutral influence free, or it was going to that fucking dog is in my skull. My opinion was going to be present in those videos, and it wasn't going to be a Will I Like It thing. The other reason that I changed the channel name is, I don't know if you've been around for a while, but me doing, Will I Like It, first of all, anything for a bit has been a while. Two, the last time I did like a review, the thing that I started this channel for, Will I Like It Reviews, like fresh out of the theater, fucking getting the video out on Thursday night, all that. I haven't done that since like February, and there's been a bunch of reasons for that. But at the same time, like those videos don't reward me as much. Like I'm at a stage right now where I'm doing YouTube for way different reasons than just to be a face in a search engine, which if you're trying to be here's my tip for anybody who's trying to be a straight movie reviewer on YouTube. Fucking don't. I guess that's my first bit of advice. Don't. But secondly, you're really going to have to bust your ass and perhaps have some sort of luck to stick out, because there's a lot of people that want to talk about their opinion. And here I was, a guy who was just like, forget my opinion. Here's just, here's who I think would like it. And even that wouldn't stick around. I had more followers or more views on those videos from studio. I don't know. I can't technically say, but the people that watched and spread the Will I Like It style reviews were people that wouldn't come back and watch me do stand-up. They wouldn't, they were there just trying to plug their shit. And, me not saying anything bad or good about a movie that's better than me saying something bad. So there's that. Holy shit, the chat has flooded. How am I feeling? Hello, Patrick. How am I feeling? We'll get to that. There's a nice long story behind all that. But I'm here. I'm talking. I'm medicated, so that's a little tricky. Good old the morphine, the better. But yeah, it's I'll get to that. That's another big event, and it kind of ties into what I'll be shutting this down and doing another stream, hopefully by 9 o'clock, and we'll be talking about a video that should be up right now that I'm not even close to finishing editing. Or actually, I haven't shot the better part of it. If it was just editing, I might have been able to do it. Brian, hi Brian. Wow, you're up late with us, huh? That was really cool, that stuff that you were doing today, Brian. Hey, dude, hope you're feeling better, at least a bit better. Yeah, like I said, I had a rough day, but fucking drugs are deceptively calming. Unique name, pal. Well, not all of us can have Patrick Holmes as our name. So, yeah, I guess, yes, quite unique indeed. Now everybody's saying hi to Brian, and Brian saying hello to everybody. I'm going to have to get used to saying this name. To who? Where? what? Yeah, and like a 5% reason that I wanted to change my channel name was just to get people to stop saying Will. I mean, it doesn't genuinely bother me, but the channel name, like if you read it in a chat, is Will I Like It. Like, it's just weird that people, like, I'm trying to think of how I would do this right now. So Slipcover King, if that were like, if I just called him Slipcover, it would be a little weird. Nobody in the chat right now has a name for their first name. So it wasn't Will, like, William. And people would call on me in chats and shit. Like the channel name was Will I Like It Reviews. Hi, I'm Will. I like it. It's not that big a deal. If that was the reason I changed the channel name, then I got way bigger problems than anything I dealt with this week. But yeah, there's just a couple of reasons. The one most importantly being that I don't want to lean heavily on the review title. I don't think, especially lately, especially this year, the last 2-3 years, I don't lean heavily on review styles. I kind of like to fart around here, in case you haven't noticed. And then when I see something like Emily on a daily basis, what the fuck she's got going on, which, by the way, as we speak, she's editing her Exorcist review, which I don't know, maybe might be up tonight. That's a big 30+ minute video, which I'm proud of her, regardless of whether or not people enjoy the video. That was a multi-month process. So anyway, with that being said, living with somebody who's doing what she's doing with reviews, and me just sitting in front of a screen saying, "Well, I think if you like this movie, you'll like it." Like I just feel like a fraud. Like that. I'm not a movie reviewer. Emily is go sub to Emily's Adventures in Horrorland if you haven't. And why? How are you still here? If that's the case, catching up. I have. Sup, mate? What's up, Slipcover King? Hope everything's all right. Talk more about Halloween. That seems to get the views. Yeah, and that was the other thing too. Like, a lot of people would kind of lean into the hype, and it's not like I didn't. I did the Force Awakens thing. Like when the Force Awakens trailer dropped, I did a trailer reaction in a caricature, and that got like 16,000 views. That was a fairly large video. But the thing about that was a lot of people didn't recognize that I was being humorous. Shocker. Some of my jokes didn't land. At that time, there was a lot of people that were having such a fuss that there could be a black stormtrooper. So the gag of the reaction video was I was this ultra Star Wars nerd. I put on a lisp. I was just, if you saw any of my other videos, you knew this was something different. This wasn't me. There's just something different about the presentation of the video. And so, just watching it, being a bit moronic, but whenever Finn came on screen, I would have like an odd reaction, like, "Oh, I don't know how I feel about that," and people took it straight. And sometimes when people don't get humor, it really is frustrating, especially when that's a video that a lot of people have seen. So, as I feel like a hipster when it comes to YouTube stuff and trends, and where I'm just like, why are people doing that? But every now and again, if I can lean into something that's trending and people are taking seriously, and kind of poke fun at it, I'll do that. But it's hard for me to say, because it's mostly jealousy. If Friday the 13th had a bunch of news and new movie coming out, and listen, for those who haven't seen it, the new Halloween is good. It's well deserved. It's well earned, considering the 21st century as far as those slashers are concerned. It's probably the best Freddie, Michael, Jason movie in the 21st century, which, I mean, you look back at that history, that's not that hard to achieve, but still, that's 18 years we're talking about. The best slasher movie. And I'd venture to say it's the best slasher movie in, excuse me, maybe not the best slasher movie, but the best big three movie in 25 years. And it's I don't have too much of a struggle thinking about that. But yeah, I'll try to get some clickbaity hot takes going on at some point. If there's a lot of things I want to do stuff with comedy. I want to do stuff with music. I have like making fun of things that are happening in music. Another reason I just want to veer away from the reviews. Just this is my fun. This is not something that I'm doing to make money, to be famous, any of the above. Glad I'm alive and kicking. Thank you, Patrick. I'm far from kicking. As a matter of fact, today I just got the take it the fuck easy from the doctors. I was in the hospital today. Been a while. The stuff you'll do to get more drugs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I completely guilty there. Went to. All right. So I'll get to the whole fucking hospital, the whole 10-11 day saga of the hospital trip in a second. But let me just catch up with the chat right now. I'll read Dino's thing from Patreon, and then I'll give you the whole the whole kit and caboodle about CP in the hospital. Again, happy Halloween, man. Happy Halloween, Scuba Steve. See, like Scuba Steve, if I just said Scuba, thanks, Scuba. But the name Steve is there. And I know what Scuba Steve is, but like I don't understand. Reading chat names is quick. And granted, this isn't a Drum Dums video where it's just fucking flashing chat. But Tripper was also wondering about the name change. Appreciate the knowledge. Tripper, get him. I'm not familiar. I'm not are you? Do I know you as somebody else? Interesting using yourself in the third person there. It does suck when people don't get the joke, Patrick. It does. I don't expect everybody to get the joke, but when something completely misses, it's as a comedian, it's frustrating. I mean, like that's part of the process of learning what material is good and isn't. But every now and again, a not good joke will at least get a scattered laugh. But if something just utterly misses, it's just like, all right, well then I'm the fucking idiot. Like I was completely in the wrong. I got to shot a Night of Living Dead review when I get some time. Oh, you gotta shoot a Night of Living Dead review when you get some time. You're plugging your own shit here, Patrick. That's cool. Go sub Patrick Holmes if you want to watch a Night of the Living Dead review apparently coming up soon. And if you like the dog barking in this video, Patrick's got some surround noise that is, if you're wearing headphones, it's a trying time. Let me say, Patrick, you got to find some quiet spaces to film it. Slipcover King, I really liked the new Halloween. The friend that I saw it with actually liked it more than the original. Heh. Well, that friend needs to. Okay, I'm not a Halloween fan. There's a lot a movie has to do to be better than the original Halloween. That's coming from somebody who's like, fuck Halloween. So, yeah. No, Patrick, it's not your son. Sometimes it's your TV. Sometimes it's your washing machine. Nice try, but I don't know. Sometimes I think most of the time it's like your TV or something. Kids are kids. I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. Right? I can't help the dog barking. I'm being a bit of a hypocrite here. I don't think so, but I'm not the biggest commenter. Oh, so you're just what we streamers call those creepers, people who watch but don't interact. It's a term of endearment, I guess, is mostly silent watcher. Yeah, creeper. And it's not meant to offend. It's just, somebody who's, laying in the bushes and not really saying much. At least there's no doubt about you being a comedian at the hospital now. There's no doubt about me being a comedian at the hospital. I don't understand that, Dennis. A comedian at the hospital. All right. I'll wait for you to explain that. Perhaps you're referencing in Denmark. My jokes killed in Denmark, and I joked about America. And well, let's just say, perhaps our country takes herself too seriously, and the rest of the world certainly doesn't. If that's what you're talking about. I first found you, I think, a month or two ago when you did a collab with the Horror Show and Cody Leach, I believe it was. Oh, so that was probably the Halloween spoiler talk. We've done a couple things together. We did a Hereditary spoiler thing, a Halloween spoiler thing, and then I think, well, they were all here for the Halloween prediction show. Which Cecil lost already, by the way. Foggy Wake Up. Ask him if... Oh, Foggy Wake Up. All right, so let me put a pin in that. I'll try to tell the most detailed plan of event. Excuse me. Oh, fuck. If I hiccup, it hurts. The detailed events of my last 10 days. While everyone is jumping on Halloween's nutsack, I was watching Ela She-Wolf of the SS and Fulci Zombie. What's up, by the way? What's up, Steve? Hope you're doing well. Hope, speaking of hospitals and pain and shit, I hope your foot is at least a bit better than the last time I spoke to you. A bit? All right, so let me get to this. Dino says, "Glad you're feeling better, my friend." Thank you, Dino. I'm getting there, slowly but surely. This morning, I thought maybe I took a step backwards, but just part of the process. Now that your gallbladder is gone, will this subject work into your future stand-up shows? Yes. If I don't know if I'll have material based on the gallbladder itself, like, oh man, doesn't it suck being a human without a gallbladder? I don't know if it'll be gallbladder centric, but there was a bunch of experiences in the hospital that I have today that, you know, certainly have made their way into writing process and finding something to do with it and like. All right, so I just hurry up and get to the hospital story, because I'll tell you the funny thing that first happened when I first got out of surgery. But there's also another question that Dino asked, and he asked, "What is the next Twisted movie you'll be reviewing?" I think you're referring the "Who Would Like That" series, and on deck, loaded on the hard drive. Yeah. I'm not even going to go ahead and say I went out and found the Blu-ray for that one. Is what the fuck? So Infamous. Why is the title slipping my mind? A Serbian film. Excuse me. I'll be doing Who Would Like That for a Serbian film, and I feel a little bit more comfortable about that than Salo, oddly enough, because I've already seen a Serbian film, and to go back and watch it a second time, exclusively to ask why people would watch it. I haven't got myself around to that yet, but once I do, that the watch to creating the video process shouldn't be that long at all. Solo, I was just completely, I was in my own head. I just didn't know what to say. It's just, that movie fucked me up. That's a 43-year-old movie, and it's just like, this is just people fucking and shitting and fucking like this. Like I can get like metaphors and shit. Solo, for as much as they, you know, Criterion. But yeah, so it's a Serbian film next, probably November. Probably November is going to be busy for me. Actually, the rest of 2018 is going to be busy for me personally. So I'll try to get that done. It was the SDCC trailer chat. That's from Tripper. Oh yeah. So we yeah. I'm a bit of a whore. I'm on a bunch of different channels. So pinpointing exactly where you've seen me, especially if it's not here, could be a bit of a chore. Will Smith, hey CP. So do you think the new Halloween is way overhyped? And do you think that in the future will be ranked lower and lower by fans? Yeah. Yes. Yes, because like for the record, this is the longest society has gone without a Freddy, Michael, or Jason movie. What was it? Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 2010, and that was the last out of any of them. And here we are in 2018. It's 8 years. We never went 8 years without one of those three. So I think a lot of it was just, the thirst and you know, uh, uh, I've done this comparison before. For however you feel about Star Wars and The Force Awakens, Halloween 2018 was The Force Awakens for the slasher genre. It didn't need to be perfect. It just needed to be something decent, and it's a very decent movie. I gave it a 4 out of 5. On multiple viewings, there's two major gripes that I have with that movie. And one, like, there's one that nobody's not talking about, and perhaps seeing that a couple of times, that may grind away at it. Good old Lee, he's got it as his number one of the year. So there's opposite, there's ends of the spectrum with hype, and then some people are saying that it's just picking on a bunch of terrible shit. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but guys, think about Halloween in the 21st century. You got Resurrection, and you got the Rob Zombie movies. Halloween 2018 is easily the best thing that we've seen with Michael Myers in it, like in at least 20 years. People will argue that maybe H2O is better, and I can see that argument. But multiple viewings, yeah, I mean, it's just, I loved Force Awakens. It hasn't calmed down for me. I think fans will, if you're totally on board, you're totally on board. But the casual audience, the hype will die down a bit. I think this weekend we'll start seeing some of that, because today is Halloween. This is probably the last excuse me, the last big day for Halloween to make big money. And this weekend upcoming, there's the Queen movie. There's the, not like people are choosing, do I want to watch Freddie Mercury or a Michael Myers movie? Same thing with Nutcracker. It's not like there's competition, but people, the money's going to be spread somewhere else. So I think by the time it comes out on home media, that will it'll it's not Inception, and I think the horror universe will come to grips with that. If you're a Halloween fan and it's great for you, that's great. That's as a Friday the 13th fan, I'm happy that there's a really good Halloween movie. Fuck, if you like Freddy, Jason, go down the line, Candyman. If you really like some stuff that isn't a franchise, you're rooting for this movie, because when they canceled Friday the 13th because of the shitty performance of Rings, it was just like, well, why the fuck are you judging a franchise that's 30 years old and basing it on a shitty, I don't even know what it was, a prequel? I don't remember what Rings' story was, but that was a prequel to a remake of a Japanese movie, and not much heart and effort was put into it. So these studios put all this pressure on these movies, and then you could tell that they respected the process with this new Halloween movie, and that's it. If people give a shit about what they're doing, look what happens. These are horror movies. You don't really need to fucking, you don't have to go out there and make Chinatown. Just just pay the proper respect. Try not to make a fucking movie in 10 days and make a buck on 50 cents, and you'd be surprised what happens. Fuck. Oh shit. I'm way behind. Way behind. I hope I answered your question sufficiently, Wheel. I have a cane now instead of crutches. That's a big step. Getting there. Waiting to hear about your health. All right. It's not that important. Probably. So, Wheel, that like what happened with H2O. That Kevin Dillon, Lars von Trier movie looks interesting. Yes, I don't think that's going to get to a lot of audiences. I'll be covering that for who would like that. Matt Dillon. Oh yeah, I knew what you meant too. Stopping by to say hi before the news. Good to see you, CP. Good to see your words, Cecil. Oh, that's right. You're doing news with booze tonight. I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm not competing. I, I'm I'm gonna blame it on drugs. I'm morphine to fuck. So if all else fails, uh, drugs. Better ending, not perfect. The nerve. Oh, Halloween. I didn't understand all the people complaining about how much we saw of Michael's face. That was weird too because we didn't really see his face. We saw an old dude's, 5 o'clock shadow. We saw like this. Um, but yeah, I can understand that to a degree. Uh, it's not that big a deal to us. But if I saw a Jason movie where well, actually, you know what? It's just not part of his thing. I guess is the best way to put it. I didn't think it was that offensive, but again, I'm not married to the franchise, so and again, they're trying to sweep in those casual viewers, and 120+ million later, they did the right thing. If you don't like his face, guess what? I don't think they care because Joe and Jill fucking what are we gonna do on a Thursday night went and saw it. That's what they were trying to do, and again, it succeeded. So if you didn't like it, that's fine. You're getting another one. That's the important thing. You're getting another one, and now other franchises are gonna get a shot to be reborn, and that's important. Because even if this isn't the best thing that comes out, what if because of this movie we get a really really good, really dark, yet still sadistically funny? What if we get Nightmare on Elm Street like legit back like that? I'll take the hit. You know, again, I'm not a Nightmare on Elm Street guy. If us seeing Michael Myers' 5 o'clock shadow from a certain angle brings us a new incarnation of Freddy that is just fucking badass, you know, fine. We got Inception because uh, Warner Brothers wanted Christopher Nolan to make a Dark Knight. Remember that. We got both a Dark Knight and Inception because Warner was hard up. So, when you get the studios wanting shit, it works. It works out every now and again. I also gave Halloween a 4 out of 5. Mother Mayhem Heart. Hi, Lindsay. I haven't watched anybody's thing. I'm going to be doing a stream later, which I remember you said maybe you might be able to join, but open invite because we'll be talking about your list, Brian's list. 9 o'clock, I'm not talking about any one specific list. I'm talking about I don't know if you've seen it, Lindsay. I sent in our group chat the I guess what you call the mean, the average, what the master list would be if you averaged out all our rankings. I'll be talking about that. What the ranking, what the average is of all our lists. And by all means drop by and give a holler. It's cool Fuego's late anyway. LOL. Oh, so you're like literally just about to go on. Matt Dillon is doing Q&A at IFC for that film. A 9 p.m. show ticket still available. Steve, I can't walk to the grocery store right now. I'm not gonna go to Manhattan. I appreciate it. Fuck, see, hiccuping sucks. I saw the average. LOL, and I'll be there as long as I can. Well, that's good. All right, so now that you saw me hiccup and have a minor stroke, let me get to the news at hand. And adjust the camera. If you don't mind me taking a drink for a second. So, all right, so my shirt is stuck. Some of you It's funny. It's funny. It sells as a good joke. But one of the last videos on my channel was me tasting the Nightmare King, which by the way, I had access to early. They didn't release it until the 22nd, and my video was like 2 or 3 days before. That explains that, because people are like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's not at my Burger King. Anyway, so the fun narrative I'm gonna tell people is that everything that happened to me in the last week and a half is due to the Burger King Nightmare King sandwich, whatever the fuck you call it. It's not. It's really not. But it sounds cooler if it does. So one of my last videos, I did the showing of the green bun and the chicken fucking, what's on that burger? Chicken, bacon, meat, cheese, onion, mayonnaise. That's a lot of animals on a bun, on a green bun. You know, not terrible, strange tasting. And that was that. That was one of the last videos I did. We have gift cards to certain places around town. So when we get tight on money, we go and eat at places that we have gift cards to. And Burger King is one of those places. Sunday night, I had a regular old Whopper. Oh, fuck. Okay, see, I'm starting to talk about it now. My body's telling me to cut the shit. Sunday night, I just had a regular old Whopper. That was around 8 p.m. At about 11 p.m. Sunday night, which is now 2 Sundays ago, which I guess was the math, like the 21st, I want to say. You know, I had this big pain. I mean, like right here in my chest. I just had this, like it was close enough that it felt like it was my stomach. I had this crampy pain that it was comparable to I've had with something I've eaten that I just completely didn't agree with. I've gone like hours before finally just puking it out. It was comparable to that, and I was just like, that Whopper just didn't sit with me. And for a good 2 hours or so, I was like, this is probably food poisoning. You know, once this thing goes up or down, I'll figure out what the next plan of attack is. But turns out that you know, midnight became 2 a.m., became 4 a.m., became 6 a.m. And by about 6 a.m., I tried forcing myself to throw up, because it was just like this tight brick of pain in my chest, not my chest, where the liver is. You know, that area there in the middle is pretty tight quarters. And again, I just attributed it to shitty Burger King, my fucked diet. So I tried to make myself puke, and I couldn't do it because I'm a big baby. So eventually I don't even think I woke Emily up. I went to the hospital because I figured if this is food poisoning, they're going to have to, you know, give me Epicac or some shit. And they'll treat you for an emergency. So just, even if it's just a fucking slap on the wrist, you idiot, you have food poisoning here, just go yak. That's all. It's about genuinely what I figured. I had pain, but like, I just thought like it was gas. Like I thought, you know, it's my stomach's fucking with me. It doesn't know if it wants to shit or puke, and I'm paying for it. So I went to the hospital without Emily. I just went by myself, and they're like, yeah, you know, we're just gonna do some scans and, you know, see what's going on in there, because you should have thrown up or evacuated your bowels, I think was the terminology, by now, or it should have moved, because it was like at that point, by the time I was talking to somebody, it was like 9-10 hours where I was just no movement in pain, no movement in anything. And So they did a couple of MRIs, MRI, a CAT scan, something where they filled me with fucking ink, and turns out that they found gallstones, and they needed to get them out. And the method of doing that was to go through the belly button, and I guess they put a small hole in your chest and a small hole in your belly button and kind of fucking get to them. Look it up. I looked it up when I got home. That would have been a way better process, because that's a lot less invasive than what the fuck happened to me. Spoiler. So I was like, oh, so this is a thing that's like, I'm not going home like now tonight. Like, yeah, no, we're checking you in, and we'll try to get you. We'll try to get you, because that, if it was just that, it would have been a thing where they got the stone, snipped me up, and I would have been out. I would have been out in a couple of hours. But it was surgery. They need specialists for shit like that, and it was just a thing where they needed to check me in and make sure that, I don't know. So that was Monday, the rest of Monday, and again, shout out to the fucking nurses and the druggists at the fucking hospital. It's so strange that we have an opioid crisis here in this country, but you go into a hospital, and if they don't have the time to do surgery, they'll fill you up with morphine till you shut the fuck up. It's, yeah, we can't do anything about you right now, but here, take this pain, be gone. I'm not saying one way or another whether or not that's good or bad, but I was doped off my skull while they were trying to figure out what to do with me as far as scheduling the laparoscopic surgery, I think is the first thing it was called. So they took more scans Tuesday afternoon, and then the thing was, all right, so we're gonna do this laparoscopic, whatever the fuck that's called. We're gonna do this, but there's also a significant chance we may need to take the gallbladder out too. And I was like, well, if you're gonna do one, if you're gonna take the stones out, and then why not just take the fucking, like, just do it all in one shot? Why? Whatever. But I need Emily to give that side of the story, because Tuesday into Wednesday morning, like, again, I was still feeling this midsection pain, and they weren't able to do anything about it. So they were just fucking blep, blep, every 2 hours or so. It was a fresh dose of salt water and morphine. Which it wasn't pain. It was just fucking, I have bad memory to begin with. If you're asking me to remember what the fuck happened on Tuesday, I could have sold my fucking gallbladder. It would make sense to me. Anyway, so Wednesday morning they finally say, all right, we're gonna take you down. We're gonna start the small process. So that happened. I had two different forms of anesthesia, the way they put me under. So the first time, it was like, as you can see, I don't know, can you see? Well, here's a fresh one from today. Like, my arms, like, I am like a junkie with all these fucking holes they have in my body, and like, it was just holes with things that whatever. There's just a shit ton of things coming out of my arm that they had all types of liquid going in. I felt like a Wolverine in X-Men Origins. But anyway, so they give me the good old fucking, say goodnight. They squeeze me with the death sentence, fucking the first step of the death sentence, knock me out. And I woke up. I don't remember much about that. I just remember them saying, "Yeah, we're gonna need to finish this soon." So they brought me to like a waiting area where it was just basically them holding me as they were going to figure out what the fuck they were going to do. And, you know, in my mind, it felt like it was, you know, 2 or 3 hours, but, you know, I was out for the first bit of surgery, which evidently was a failure. I never asked because they said they were going to have to do something again. So I was just like, maybe they're taking a break. Maybe it's lunchtime and they're taking a breather and I'm just going to be awake for this. But I never really got the information. I probably did get the information, but again, doped up off my skull, could not remember much about Tuesday or Wednesday. So this time they had a different mode of putting me under, and they did the nose one. And I remember thinking, you know, she's like, just breathe it in. And I, you know, took 3 or 4 breaths and I'm like, this doesn't have a smell to it. There's nothing. I wonder if they just put regular air on me. And that was the last thought I remember having was, I don't think this is right. And then I woke up to being in another waiting area, to which Emily was now next to me. And she said, you have to stop saying you're a comedian. And I was like, well, now I was probably way loopier then, but in hindsight, I'm like, what, why? So apparently, as I came out from my induced sleep on the second surgery, the nurse that was handling me, I don't remember what the story was. Something happened where she said something, and then I said something witty, and then she said, "Oh, you're a comedian." And then I said, I am a comedian. And then she walked away. And then when Emily was there, I said, make sure she knows I'm a comedian. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm wondering if maybe I said something offensive and whatever, but like, it was just so stupid. Like, I was so hard pressed to get Emily to tell that nurse that I was a real comedian. Like the fucking stupid things that people do when they're fucking under the influence of these loopy drugs. And my thing was to make sure she knows. It reminded me of, again, looking back on it, in the moment, I was just a happy idiot. There's no self-awareness in that moment, but it reminds me of something like, hey, see if that girl likes me. Go see if that, just make sure that she knows that I like her. It was like one of those high school moments where it's just so random and stupid. But the most important thing to me, as my stomach was stapled in an S shape, again, good to know I wasn't feeling pain anymore. The most important thing to me was to make sure that the woman who handled my bedding knew I was a comedian. So priorities. So after that, this is now late Wednesday, because I'd find out later that the second process took quite a while to get the gallbladder out. I guess I'll tell that story before I tell how I got to the room. So the guy who ended up doing the surgery for the gallbladder removal, he ended up telling me a day or two later, he was like, yeah, so we were going to try to get the stones, but there was a bunch that didn't come up in the MRI, and it was just, you know, he didn't say this, but he basically said, you know, my fucking, it was just a shit show down there. No pun intended, neither. And he's like, we just wrapped up early, and we took what we needed to without, you know, they were just going to take it all. Like, you know, why fuck around and, you know, play operation, literally. Why risk whatever if we're just going to take the whole lot of it? And what he ultimately said was that, for the record, your gallbladder, however, whatever happened, that was one of the 10 worst gallbladders I have seen in my history of doing this. And I was like, maybe they can make a Watch Mojo list about all the shitty gallbladders, and I'll finally have my Watch Mojo fame. But yeah, apparently my shit was fucked up. And the reason it took them 3 hours, which again, if you ask anybody who's had it, it's a fairly I don't want to say popular, but it's not uncommon to have the gallbladder removed. Anybody who's gone through it has had an easy time with it. Hasn't had much struggle. B, they've gone in like Monday and left on Monday. So that was a bit odd. Him telling me that, you're not going anywhere. Your insides are fucked. So like it was a special case. If you know somebody who's had their gallbladder removed, ask them. They'll tell you like, yeah, I went in at 12 and I was home by 5. That wasn't the case with me. They burned a Wednesday on my stupid fucking insides. And again, if anybody asks, it's the Nightmare King's fault. That's the narrative we're going with, not my shitty eating habits. Otherwise, the Nightmare King, that green food coloring fucked everything up. No, that's a joke. Anyway, so on to the folly that is me. I wasn't as dopey, and pain started to be a thing. When you're coming down off of the operation itself, you're not feeling much of anything. I mean, again, if your main concern when you have a giant S-shaped scar that's fresh in your stomach, if your main concern is whether or not somebody knows you're a comedian, you're not feeling too much fucking pain. But by the time they got me up to a room, because I wasn't in and out. I was staying for a while. They got me to a room, and I didn't have a catheter, or I had spinal surgery and my very limited movement, and then I had a catheter. So they dropped me off on the bed, and like within 20 minutes, it hit me, and I was like, "Oh, I have to pee." I need to stress that was the thought that was going on in my head. I need to pee. So I called the nurse back. I'm like, I need to use the bathroom, which perhaps I should have said pee, but I was trying to be, believe it or not, in real life, I'm not a complete cock. I was trying to be polite and, not divulge the particulars, but I guess in a hospital with a nurse, you're going to want to tell her, listen, I need to take exactly 3 shits. What are we doing? But I told her I needed to use the restroom, and her and another nurse came in, and they just kind of lifted my body up and shoved a bedpan under me, and then left. And they're like, "Okay, we'll close the curtain for you." And I didn't think anything of it. Perhaps this was me still being dopey, but I'm sitting there, ladies. For those of you who don't know how things work, when your legs are pretty close together, your balls and cock just kind of rest on top of your legs, and now they're being pressed up even more by this bedpan. Like I was just kind of, in no moving condition, but I had a bedpan underneath my ass. And here I am looking down at my bits thinking, I'm going to have to have some incredible aim to get around my legs, my balls. And because when you're sitting there and your legs are pretty close, if you're expecting to go number 2, your butt is the only thing that's there's nothing separating you from the bedpan itself. So it made sense to do number 2. But for some reason, I don't know why I didn't try to correct the situation. I'm sitting there looking, and the first thought I had was, well, I might piss right on my own chin. And then I could not figure out what the fuck I wanted to do, because at this point, moving started to be really uncomfortable. The pain was starting to kick in. But again, I didn't want to be a pain in the ass. And I didn't realize that I was bottomless too. And there's something about me with female nurses. If I could avoid them seeing my shit, I'm going to avoid them seeing my shit. And I don't mean shit. I mean my trophy winners. So what I instead of just letting myself go and piss in my own chin, I decided to try to separate my leg and nuts and just kind of squeeze my dick in between there and pee straight down into the bedpan, which, you know, I really wish I filmed it just for the sake of the struggle that, again, still kind of doped up. Like I'm starting to feel the pain, but I'm still a fucking happy idiot thinking that this is going to work. I probably crushed my nuts in the process without even feeling it. And again, the bedpan wasn't that thick. You know, it was about this thick. So with me shifting, some of the balls have now sunk between the legs. But the important part is I've got, you know, Mr. Spitter pointing down. That was the important thing. The process started to take, and it turns out when you don't pee for 19 hours, you have a lot in your system. And I was just sitting there letting it go, and sure enough, I started to feel a nice cold, warm wetness on the bottom of my nuts. So I was filling it well enough that I was now dipping into my own water waste, and now I was embarrassed. So I tried to slow myself and cut myself off as much as possible. And I called the nurse back, and she's like, "All right, are you done?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am, but I need you to do the curtain thing again, and somehow, because again, I wanted to resituate myself and whatever." I was like, I didn't, for the record, I didn't need I didn't need the bedpan. And then she literally to my right, like arm's distance, like right here off screen, she pulls this jug up and she says, "Oh, if you had to pee, you could have just used this thing." It's like this fucking 2-liter jug thing with a nice wide, you know, Lexington steel mouth that was in arm's reach, where I could have just grabbed the fucking thing and not had, you know, piss on my balls. So I was like, "Oh, okay. So I need help getting this bedpan off, and then I'm gonna need like a napkin or something." There's no way I'm gonna tell you in this Me Too environment to clean my nuts off, but I'm gonna need like a wet nap or something, because you know, I'm lightly frosted with piss down there. So that was the funny thing of Wednesday. Was just, I really wish I documented it better, but here's me documenting it now. So yeah, after that, it was just normal hospital stay bullshit. Yeah, Thursday I started coming back around. The pain was a big thing. That if you want some gruesome details as to the process of, you know, what life looked like for me, I have quite detailed photos of the scar of they gave me this. So the area that used to have the gallbladder needs to bleed out. So they put this like string in my stomach, and then it just leads out to this fucking grenade looking thing. And it just, you know, I just bleed out into it over the course of a day, which was removed today, by the way. And it looks delicious. If you took a picture of just the bloody grenade thing and didn't know what it was, it looks like a fruit punch, like a delicious, you know, pink lemonade or whatever. But yeah, there's pictures that you could see for yourself on my Instagram, CP of Willie Reviews, which I should change that now too, shouldn't I? So eventually, it's just every day they were the amount of destroyed insides that I had was kind of causing my healing process to be a little bit slower, because I was like, every day I'm like, can I eat now? I didn't eat solids until No, Friday. Yeah, Friday night. So I wasn't able to eat solids until Friday at dinner, and it was like solids with a caveat. It was only liquid. Monday, Tuesday. There was no sort of color. It was ice chips on the day of the surgery because you can't have any sort of anything in your system. Thursday, it was Jello and juice. It was the two J's. Actually, that was Thursday and Friday, or the second half of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Then they shifted me to like soup and shit. So like Jello and soup on Friday, and like at the rate they were like progressing me through food, I'm like, I'm gonna be here till fucking February. So I was getting antsy. Anybody who knows anything about me knows that I don't like being in a place that I'm not, I don't have my little amenities, my comfort, my creature comforts. And it was getting on my nerves. But I was still feeling pretty fucking painful. So Friday was the first bit of food. And then Saturday, I was like, you know what? If you guys think I can eat, I want to go home. Another thing that happened Friday night was anybody who's stayed in a hospital, that, it's not pleasant. There's people there who are in pain. One woman, a couple of rooms down, just kept screaming, "Help me, help me, help me." And that's nothing to sleep to. I remember thinking, motherfucker, you better get me some more drugs and knock me the fuck out, because this is like real life nightmares shit right here. So with that happening Friday night, they came in Saturday and asked me how I was doing. I kind of lied and said, you know what? I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay enough that whatever I'm doing here, I'm pretty sure I could do at my own house. So if you want to give me dietary instructions, whatever, if we can get me out of here, please, can we get me out of here? And they did. They moved quickly and got me out of there Saturday. And again, I lied. The hospital, they have beds that go up and down, and they're very attentive to you. You have nurses. For as much incredible work Emily has done, there's a ton of stuff that those professionals at the hospital can do. Saturday, I think I slept a lot once I got home. Sunday was a bit of a pain in the ass. Pain in the stomach. Monday was sort of uneventful. That was kind of me feeling like I was getting better. Was able to do the show business stream, which if you go back to that, you could hear that my voice wasn't even back yet. So, with my gut being cut open, I couldn't put bass in my voice. So anything that like needed like bass, laughter, hiccuping. It's strange. I had a very, very bread heavy diet once I was able to start eating. And you don't realize that without the right amount of liquid, if you eat enough bread, you get very hiccupy. And that was quite painful, hiccuping and yawning and things like that. So, I told them at the hospital that I felt about 60% Saturday. I didn't feel 60% by Monday. Tuesday, which was now yesterday, I felt okay, but then I coughed for the first time, and fuck, that was painful. The next time you cough, try doing so without using your stomach, and then get back to me. That was an hour's worth of pain. Then 4 or 5 hours later, I sneezed for the first time. Now, if you think coughing while trying to avoid using your stomach is hard, fucking sneezing without using your stomach is impossible. So I sneezed and I literally thought I ripped like 15 stitches. And that was extreme pain. I remember taking 3 Percocet, like right off that moment. And hours passed with nothing happening. So I learned my lesson from the first. Oh, I think I might have food poisoning mistake. I wanted to make sure that I didn't fuck myself up on the inside. Went back out to the hospital. What would be this morning at about 5 a.m. They again doped me up right away. Opioid epidemic, ladies and gentlemen. They doped me up and then did more scans and came to the conclusion that the fact that I still had staples and am speaking whatever, that could be aggravating. There was nothing on the inside. There was nothing to worry about. No infection, no nothing. And the doctor was like, well, if you can kind of take it easy, we'll take the staples out, and then you just kind of don't fuck around a little bit extra. You don't fuck around twice as much as you wouldn't normally. So they took everything out. I don't have my blood grenade. I don't have staples. I'd love to show you, but my shirt keeps sticking to my chest, and I might get a I don't know, copyright claim from some fucking ridiculous horror movie. But we've been documenting the disgusting process that is my body ever since then. But yeah, so as of today, as of like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, the stomach, there's no more metal in my stomach. There's no fucking light bulb tube coming out of there. And I just have to take it extra easy, which I wasn't, it's not like I was doing jumping jacks to begin with, but we were planning on walking to the theater to see Bohemian Rhapsody tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure my uncle will have it soon anyway. So that catches you up as far as the state of my health condition. So no more gallbladder for good old CP. My see, as you can see, I'm not altering my drinking habits. They did tell me that my eating, I need to cut fat from my diet, or things that have fat, like drastically, for the next 2 to 4 weeks. So it's been a lot of bread. It's been a lot of turkey, like cold cut turkey. Yeah, it's not like it's not bad food, but when you're used to, I mean, I have a deep fryer. I have a fucking popcorn machine. Like I drove that fucker into the ground. It's just a bit of a shock. But that is it. My I'm waiting for 2018 to end, if only for my health situation. It seems like every 2 months there's something ridiculous with my health situation. Let's see. Holy shit, there's a lot to catch up with. Okay. I saw the arrow. I don't want to see it again. Hi, glad to see you back on here. Hope you're good. Onion and chicken. Yeah, Dennis can attest to the fact that where my original thought process was, I had in Denmark, they had this chicken at McDonald's. They had a chicken Big Mac, which was kind of similar to the Nightmare King, with the exception of not having a burger on it. It fried chicken patties with cheese and onions on it. And boy, my body said, nope, get this out. So I thought maybe it was just that all over again. I thought maybe the combination of fried chicken and cheese and onion just is not for me. It could be. I mean, it obviously was, at least then. And if I had a bunch of stones, there was something going on already. What did I hurt other than my pride? I'm assuming you asked that before all of this, because if you heard my pissing story, then there's a lot less than pride left. 1 a.m. for you. Now there's a sideways conversation. Hi there, Ryan. I haven't watched either of your marathons yet. It's good to see that you're both up, and now I'm the fucking idiot late to the party. But I have excuse. Like here's my excuse. This is me saying, listen, health just isn't cooperating with the being a YouTuber thing like at all this year. I said am I suing Burger King? If I if I could figure out that literally that was the reason that all this happened, maybe. But it was an emergency. They took me into the ER. I'm not stressing about it. If I had to stress about laparoscopy, wait. He's really big baby when he's in pain and not on drugs. Yes, Dennis can attest to that too. Where Dennis has had to be my nurse a few times. Where like if I'm uncomfortable, I'm a 2-year-old child. Dennis, can you please bring in some soup? Emily has dealt with it the last 2 weeks now. Well, more than that. Whenever if I'm uncomfortable, I just don't like. I don't want to do anything. I'm a baby. That's all there is to it. I don't want to feel pain. Laparoscopy. Yep, had that fun time. See, and I'm curious to know how long it took you to have it done. Happy Halloween, Amstel. Roger Jr. Yeah, probably. I mean, we've had quite similar, not completely similar years, but many trips to the hospital this year. Adamantium. Say nope to dope. See, this is what happens when I was telling a story. I don't get the exact references. It's a freaking nightmare having a bad time with the gallbladder. I was in the hospital for 4 days after and had a gorgeous scar from my bra line to the below the waist of my jeans. I totally get your pain. Yeah, my stomach modeling days. If they weren't over with my spinal surgery, they're fucking over now. Why the fuck didn't they give me a catheter? I don't know. I would like to just piss and not even worry about it. That was fun with the spinal surgery. Just, oh, there's something warm on my leg. Oh, wait, that's my own urine going through a tube. It's called a duck because it's shaped like the body of a duck. Knowledge is power. It's called a duck. All right. I really shouldn't be laughing at this, but you have a way with words. I'm hoping I'm making it a bit lighter. I'm okay now. It's an experience. It's something you'll always get from me is life. There's way too much serious shit. You gotta find ways to laugh. None of this is, in the end, none of it's really that serious. I'm glad you're out of the hospital. I'm in your thoughts. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Basically, don't eat green hamburger buns, or else you'll end up without a bladder. Yeah, they should make a sign like that. Do you want your bladder or a green bun? Was I in a room alone or with other people? Yeah, no, I had to split a room with. Oh, there's the other fun thing. So I had 2 different roommates over the course of my stay. The first one, I don't remember much about. You try to keep to yourself and just shut the fuck up. Because it's just like, we're all in fucking pain. Nobody wants to be here. Just stay in your lane. But the second guy, he was a guy in his 70s, I think. And he was there for something because he kept collapsing. Something with his head dizzy or something. And he watched the news a lot. And Friday night, I was watching Bill Maher. And they made a joke about Donald Trump. The joke was, I don't know who's left that doesn't think that Donald Trump and Russia are in bed together. And sure enough, I hear him go, "Oh my God, with this shit again." And I was like, "Oh, all right. I know your political affiliation." It was, that hurt. It was just so random. I didn't hear a word out of him, but sure enough, Trump supporters are very vocal. I'm glad to see you're up and around, CP. Get well, brother. Thank you. Am I going to work as my stand-up? Yeah. If you just caught me now, that pissing bit is going to be somewhere. Coughing and sneezing, I remember that. Yeah. Same bladder problem. Same problem after my C-section and gallbladder surgery. Yeah. Yeah. No, I had a spinal surgery where they went in through the front, which I have the equivalent of a C-section scar. And the first couple of, I want to say days, but maybe it might have been like a full 2 weeks or something. Laughing, coughing, laughing to somebody like me. If I need to curb laughter, that's a death sentence. That's brutal. It's not like I can't laugh. Fuck it. It hurt when I did. I want to say this is worse because I guess it's higher up in the stomach or whatever. But yeah, it feels like if I even chuckle, it hurts. But yes, for those of you, the one warning I'll give anybody who needs to have something done to their stomach, get your laughing out of the way quickly because you're not gonna want to do it for at least a week or so. So now would be the perfect time for a cinnamon Oh, no cinnamon challenge here. Hello, Queenie. Good to see me. It's good to see your words. Just call it the last minutes. Yeah. And hey, man, you've been in my prayers. Thank you. So I was scared this morning. I thought maybe I ripped something loose on the inside, but I didn't. And that's that. I have videos that, like, everybody from Stream released their 31 on the 31st rankings. Cody Leach, Drum Dums, Mother Mayhem, Brian Lomax, go run amok, check them out. All those videos are up. Mine was supposed to be up. My submission into Lee's 31 Days of Horror is fucking depressing and terrible because I couldn't shoot and or edit. So my 31 on 31st will, whenever I can start, believe it or not, like I'm uncomfortable right now. So whenever I can just sit at a computer and not really stress about anything, I'll get that done. And then I have the personal financial matters that have been plaguing me for most of the year. They'll clear up by the middle, if not mid-end of November, and then we'll start hopefully one or the other, if not both, my health and the finances will rebound relatively quickly at the same time. And then I'll be back to being productive again. And we'll see what my first stage set will be since this ridiculous occurrence. I don't want to say anything because I was in the hospital 4 times in the month of October. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Now, if you have questions that you want me to answer that I didn't because I was talking about pissing on my own nutsack, just leave it in the comment section below. I'll cover that maybe again later. An update when I can maybe laugh. It's very hard to tell these stories without, being self-conscious about laughing. But there's that. There's going to be a quick flip around, and hopefully some of the streamers will join me. At the very least, Lindsay, just to let me take a drink. And we're going to talk about the 31 on 31 list within 10 minutes. Thanks for joining me. Hope I made everybody smile at my own misfortune. And we'll see you next time. Or we'll see you in minutes.